So, Bob Iger's doing damage control now. He's running around talking about the reason why these movies have been bombing is because, a lack of oversight. Nah, we know it has nothing to do with that. Okay, some people keep talking about trolls. Some people keep talking about racism, homophobia, this or that. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents, man. Okay, one of the biggest issues that I don't see a lot of people talking about, man, is this thing where they feel like they have to hit a home run with every pitcher. Okay, everything has to be a blockbuster. Okay, look, there's an audience for woke content. I mean, I'm not part of that audience, but there's an audience for it. Okay, the problem is that audience is not as big as the mainstream audience. Okay, there are people that don't care about race swapping. There are people that don't care about you deviating from the source material. Okay, there's people who love LGBTQ content. Okay, who want to see Mary Sue characters. There's a market out there, an audience for almost everything. Problem is though, those audiences are not big enough to sustain these movies, these big huge budgets. They said a Marvel costed anything from 222 million to 275 million, and the marketing budget was 100 million. So at the very least, for this movie to break even, you're talking about at least 600 million. Okay, for this movie to break even, and that's like the lowest projected budget. Okay. Now, the crazy thing about this, man, is they said this movie was made for young girls. And I have no problem with the director making this movie for young girls. Okay, young girls are humans. They like to go watch movies too. That's fine. However, you have a problem with that movie. It needs to make at least 600 million to break even. And that's, like I said, that's the low estimate. Okay. The movies become more and more expensive, that means they have to make more and more money to break even. So that means they have to appeal to a wider audience. Okay. Unfortunately, if you need all that money to break even, you can't just appeal. You can't make something just for young girls. You can't make something that's just going to appeal to one segment of the audience. Okay. It has to have crossover appeal. And unfortunately, everything doesn't appeal to everybody. Okay. There are some people who don't want to watch LGBTQ content, and it doesn't matter what you think about that. Okay. There's nothing to argue about. Okay, some people just don't like it. There's some people who don't want to see race swap characters. There's some people who don't like Mary Sue characters. That's just the way it is. Okay, doesn't matter what you think about it. That's just the way it is. Okay. Problem is, Disney has to hit a home run every time. The budgets have become so bloated. Every movie needs to make $1 billion. Okay, and the thing about it is, some of these budgets they're giving out, okay, they try and spin it. They keep telling, oh, well, this only costed 220 million, but they're not telling you they spent $100 million, for the marketing budget. And they're not telling you that production budget they're giving you is not all the money they spent. Because now you're finding out that some of the movies in the past that they say cost a certain amount costed more than that. Okay. So you need these movies that have to make all this much money. You can't. It's not going to work. They have to have crossover appeal, and every movie is not going to have crossover appeal like that. Especially when they're running around getting these bargain bin characters. I'm sorry. I've had to debate with a lot of people over the years. Okay, they keep bringing out these D and C list characters, making movies about them, like Blue Beetle or Captain Marvel. Nobody likes these characters, dude. Okay. Captain Marvel was never a popular character. In her heyday, she was a good eye candy character. Okay. You ask most long-term fans, oh yeah, Captain Marvel. She's the lady that Rogue stole her powers from and put her in a coma or something like that. Absorbed her personality. Okay. Blue Beetle, some people might like him. I'm sorry, he's like a C or D level character. You can't make no movie on him, man. Okay. And that's fine. Even, if you want to make movies about these CD level characters and it was like a small, very small budget of 20 million, something like that, 25 million, okay, you could take that risk. You could do that maybe. Okay. It might be enough of an audience. The problem is they're not making low budget movies. Those movies are gone. Okay. At one point in Hollywood, years ago, you had small budget studios, you had mid-level studios, and you had, the big budget studios. And they all made different budgets. You know what I'm saying? Obviously. Um, you don't have that anymore. Every movie that's coming out is costing, once you add the marketing, 300, 400, 500 million. Okay, you don't have these small budget movies anymore. Okay. These small budget movies that you could try more experimental storylines, that you could do stuff that appeals to a different audience. You could make a LGBT movie, okay? Because it costs, 10, 20, 30 million. You don't need it for it to make $1 billion, okay? You can make a movie, girl boss movie, okay? You can make something that does not have to appeal to the mainstream audience. But for some reason, I don't know what the deal is. They don't seem to understand it. Okay. And I believe, like I said, I believe a lot of it has to do with the idea of social engineering. Look, man, you can get mad. Okay. You can pee in your pants. You can get tight in your drawers. People that don't like LGBT stuff is never going to like it. Okay. That's just the way it is. People don't like certain things, race swapping, sex swapped characters, or you not adhering to whatever source material that their favorite thing is based on. They're not going to like that. Okay. Just because you make a big budget movie don't mean they're going to run out and support it. Okay. But that's the problem. What's really hurting these movies is the thing that we have to hit a home run every time. Everything got to be a home run. Everything we got to shoot for $1 billion because these movies cost too freaking much. Okay. Listen, they can make whatever they want, okay? But at the end of the day, people are going to watch whatever they want. If you want to make girl boss movies, that's fine. Make Captain Marvel Part 3 if you want to. But you're going to have to drastically reduce that budget, okay? Maybe it doesn't need to have 100 million special effects, energy beams, and flying to different planets. You're going to have to figure out something, okay? You're going to have to reduce the budget, okay? Every movie does not have to be a big blockbuster film. It's okay to make something that costs 10 million or 20 million or 30 million. That's the biggest deal. That's the problem.